Hello, everybody. This is John Lintley, programmer of BB Digital Lab LLC. Excellent to be reaching your eyes and ears on. I guess this would still be the right at the end of the year. Um, so today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something I think is very important, which is keeping your website secure. Kind of talked about this a little tangentially, but let's let's get into it. So the first thing that you need to be doing, which I've discussed in depth before, is getting your HTTPS certification. This it does take a little bit of time and it does take a little bit of coordination with whoever's hosting your site. So you should probably know that or figure that out because that's where your bills are going to. Um, but getting that certification is a huge step in being more secure, and not only for your safety and your users and your traffic safety, but also, um, I guess for lack of a better term, showcasing that, letting people know like we take this seriously. This is a reputable site, so you can to a certain degree trust that, like, yeah, we have HTTPS certification. That is the difference between just some random site from like who even knows if it's credible, to one that is at least a little bit more trustworthy, right? Because security is about actual like security, keeping things under wraps, but also trust management. Like that's the kind of user side of it. So the second thing that's extremely important. Oh, and if you'd like to learn more about HTTPS certification, I have a whole podcast about it and the difference between HTTP and HTTPS and why it's so important. So, if you really do want to learn more, I'd recommend going back, watching or listening to that, um, because yeah, I get really in depth about all the different things and how it's different and how it's more beneficial. So yeah, if you're interested. Um, The second thing that I like to talk about in terms of making your website safer is updating your passwords. I know it can seem kind of silly or, um, maybe like, oh, it's really surface level. Updating your passwords is extremely important. Even if a password is compromised, which does happen, for whatever leaks and hacks, updating it means that, whatever hackers have your password no longer do. So this is more than just saying like, I don't know, John 2020 and then updating it to John 2021, or going by year, going by your dog's name, going by a relative's name. That's not safe. You need to be going at least by something unrelated, like bookshelves are cool, 6 2 exclamation point. Like that's not that's actually a pretty secure password. Don't don't try to go in my accounts and log in via that. That's not an actual password that I have. I mean, I guess you can try, but you're not going anywhere. But changing it at the bare minimum once a year, and ideally every 6 months, is the best, easiest, and most straightforward way to keep your account secure. A lot of times when hackers try to break into a system, they don't use some complex algorithm. They don't, use the back door. Oh, I'm reversing the encryption wall. Oh, I'm in. I broke through the firewall. Like, no, it's sending an email to one of the users in the system, and getting them to click a link or getting them to log in, and boom, now they have their passwords. So updating your password though, and critically, making devices that are signed in have to sign in again with the new password, is going to be a tremendous leap forward for your safety and security. Uh, as I said before, hackers have very effective algorithms for figuring out what your password probably is. So, like I said, don't do your dog's name, don't do the year. They'll be able to figure that out very quickly. And I think if you have like a 7-digit password or that is numbers and characters, it'll take over a year for an algorithm to break it. And guess what? If you change every year, they're not going to be able to break in time. Now, if you have like a 4-digit passcode, well, that takes like 5 minutes nowadays, especially with the advancement of technology. I mean, 7's not even the most secure. Once again, if you change it every 6 months, you should be okay. With all the security stuff, it's not about like, okay, how can I protect against, anonymous or the FBI hacking my accounts, the Russian government. It's about your due diligence that will protect you and prevent the most common attacks that you're going to encounter, because those are the ones that are most widely deployed, right? They're not insanely, customized algorithms. Usually the point is automation, the point is scale. So they're going to send out all this basic stuff like the emails, for example, and see if anyone bites. And you know what? People do. People reliably do. I remember at my university, we had this issue for a while where someone would get an email from another university account that had been compromised. I'm not sure exactly what account it started from, but they'd be like, hey, can you click this? And they click the link, and then boom, their email's compromised. So then that email would start sending out messages to people. Hey, can you click this link? And it would just keep going like that. And even after the issue was identified, the emails were still going out. People were still clicking the links. I know several people personally who had this problem. But guess what? If you change your password, make it hard to guess, you'll be okay. Relatively speaking, this is all about risk mitigation, right? That's the important thing here. And you need to be mindful of what you need to do, right? To reasonably protect yourself. And I'm back. So the last thing I'd like to talk to you about, which may seem kind of silly, but I know a lot of people have an issue with this. I do too, is update regularly. Update your plugins, update, WordPress, update your accounts, update your apps. Just keep it regularly updated. Like I said, I know I have this issue where it's like, oh, I don't need to update. And so I'll go a little bit before I finally update. But the reason that you need to update regularly is a lot of those updates include additional security features. And critically, when there's significant changes to the application or whatever system you're updating, it's going to be a lot harder for hackers to break in using the techniques they did before. So they were doing A, B, and C to break into the system, but with the update, B is changed. Now they only have access to A and C. They won't be able to get in. And it's going to take them it's going to take them some time to change things around to redevelop it so that they can still get into the system, right? And they may not be able to. And you know what? They'll move on because even if this system is updated and secure, all these other systems might not be. I know there's a big issue periodically with government systems where they'll be using outdated technology, and this is true of anyone who any organization that uses outdated technology with this mentality of like, well, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But that is a humongous risk. Using outdated technology, using out of date versions of an application puts you at risk. because a lot of, like I said, a lot of these updates include security features that make you and your systems more safe and secure. So those are my 3 things that I would recommend to you to keep safe, to keep secure with your website, but I guess in general online. So thank you so much for listening and or watching, and I will be reaching your eyes and ears um, either later this week or next week. So yeah, have a good day.